Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Joelle Simone Anthony. I am also known as the Grave Woman, and if this is your first time here, I want to go ahead and ask that you hit the subscription button as well as the notifications bell so that you'll be updated each and every time I upload a new video. So today I am answering more of the viewer questions that I've received, and the subject is going to be on embalming. I received so many questions about the embalming process, what happens, is it required or not? And so I just wanted to take the time to answer a few of your questions in today's video. The first question comes from Pam, and Pam asks, does a body have to be embalmed? And why would someone not want to be embalmed? That's a great question. And the answer to that question is that no, you do not have to be embalmed. It is not a legal requirement or a law that says that upon death, you must be embalmed. If you go into a funeral home and you request a public viewing, it may be a requirement of that funeral home that embalming take place for a public viewing. But if you just want to be buried with the earth, or you want to be cremated, or you want a natural or green or eco-friendly burial, there you have those options. It's not a requirement that you're embalmed. However, the funeral home may require that for a public viewing, embalming take place, and that's completely legal as well. It is a matter of public safety. Now, to answer your question about why someone would not want to be embalmed, it's just a matter of personal preference. Not everybody wants the same thing when they pass away. And the great thing about pre-planning is that you get to choose what happens to your body. So some people want eco-friendly burial where they're shrouded and just simply placed in the earth with no casket, no embalming, no nothing. Some people want to be cremated. Some people want water aquamation. Some people want chemicals inside of their body. And I think it's important to know that there are quote unquote green embalming fluids on the market now. So if you want to be embalmed and you're worried about the chemicals, or you're worried about the embalming fluid, do some research and find out if funeral homes in your area offer green or natural embalming techniques. So thank you for that question, Pam, and I hope this answers your question. The next question comes from Laura, and Laura asks if we put dentures and rings back on the deceased after the embalming process. Laura, this is an excellent question, and to answer your question, yes, personal belongings are placed back on the deceased upon the request of the family. Now, dentures in particular are not going to be placed after the embalming process. They're actually going to be placed back in the decedent's mouth prior to embalming during a step called setting features. Now, setting features is referring to the closing of the eyes, the closing of the mouth, the positioning of the hands and the neck and the head of the deceased prior to the embalming process, because once we begin that embalming process and the formaldehyde gases begin to fixate within the tissues, the body is pretty much going to be positioned, and it's going to be very difficult to go back and reposition those things or those features once that's done. We want the deceased to have as natural as an appearance as possible, and the best way to achieve that is by doing the positioning and setting of the features prior to the embalming process. So the dentures will be placed in the mouth of the deceased, the mouth will be closed, the eyes will be closed, the hands positioned, the head and neck positioned, and then we will proceed with the embalming process. So if you have any more questions about exactly what the embalming process entails, you can check out the video that I did entitled My Least Favorite Thing About the Embalming Process. I talk about my least favorite thing, but I also give a very, very detailed description of the embalming process from start to finish. Thank you, ladies, so much for your question. I hope that the answers helped. If you have any questions, please feel free to list them below in the comment section or email me directly at thegravewoman@gmail.com. I'd love to know what you thought of today's answers, as well as hear any questions that you have about death care and funeral service as a whole. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Joelle Simone Anthony. I'm also known as the Grave Woman. Live life, love hard, and I'll talk to you next time.